What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Thought Therapy. This is a place for you to take your life to the next level. My name is Cameron, and today, I just really want to talk about my own personal spiritual awakening. It's going to be more of like a stream of consciousness more than anything. So, yeah, let's dive right into it. So what happened with me was I spiritually awoke, I guess you can say. I want to say 2 years, but it's pretty much been like a lifelong thing for me. This whole other realm of thought and experiencing things like that have always been part of my life, but I guess you can say the textbook spiritual awakening happening about 2 years ago. And it really started to happen when I just started to meditate more and started to question really deeply things about life to try to find more truth. And as I would question more things and embody those truths that I would find, I started to see the unraveling happening in my life. And, I had just gone through a pretty bad breakup. And that's what thrusted me into this whole new world, this whole new way of thinking, this whole personal development, growth, spiritual life. It was from that moment. And ever since then, it's just been a crazy journey ever since. I was in a dark night of the soul phase for like a year and a half. So like initially, right when I first woke up, it was hella awesome. I had like this euphoria. There's like these birds fighting in my background. And sorry, I'm just kind of distracted. But I had like this euphoria. They call it like a spiritual high. And I had that for like 5 months, and it was insane. Like, it just felt so crazy to wake up every single day. I felt like I was on like ecstasy or something like that. Life was it was intense. And then the inner work started to happen, and I was depressed, and I was just it thrusted me down deep to my core. Because it was showing me, like, this is what life can be like. But you have to do the work first. So it gave me like that glimpse of what it would be like to be enlightened, I guess you would say, or whatever. And then the work started to happen, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing for so long. And so, like, I want to say like a year and a half, I was stuck in this dark night of the soul phase. Every single damn day was such a struggle. I reflect back and just see how unhappy I was, and just it was really, really, really intense. And when like depression or a mood doesn't lift like on its own naturally, it forces you to make changes, because you're like, okay, if this isn't just going to go on its own, then I'm going to have to make the changes so then it can go away itself. So that started a whole very deep introspective time where I was really just figuring things out, figuring out why I was feeling a certain way. And and then I chose to study abroad, and I went to Australia, and that was the pivotal moment in my journey. That was last year's for about 5 months. And so I'm still going through this dark night of the soul phase, thinking that I can just escape it. And here I am in Australia, away from everyone. No friends, no family, nothing. I met friends and stuff there, but not a lot that could understand my thing that I was going through. And I was thrusted to the core of my being. I was shaken by being away, being through this crazy spiritual journey, and it made me find the strength to get shit together. To get shit together when you're that far away from home, living a completely new life. It told me, and it forced me to do things that were going to make me grow. And I spent so much time thinking there. I had like my little apartment, and like I called it like my think tank. And like I was still like enjoying life and stuff there too, but it was a really good time for me to think and meditate and expand in that. And so when I came home back to the United States, I was a completely changed person. And mind you, I was only there for about 5 months. Because when I came back, I had 5 months worth of deep thinking. I didn't have a job down there or anything like that. I'm fortunate enough that I was able to do that. But then it was time to come home and put in the work in about all that I had thought about. All of it. All the things that I had thought about. Changing my life. Showing more love. Welcoming love. What does love mean? What does self-love mean? Where am I right now in life? What do I want to do? Like, all these questions I had thought about. It was time to put into action. And so when I came back, it was insane, because I was like, I started to go for it, man. Started to get in really good shape. I started to write more. I started to read a lot more. I read so much now. I changed my major at school. I began to create a self-image of love that I could feel myself, but also other people could feel too. So then people would tell me, like, man, like, you're a completely different person. And mind you, this is all happening within, like, not even like a year. Now, alright, sorry about that. My camera died, so I just had to go put new batteries in it. Anyways, where was I? I came back and I really had to develop a new state of being, because I knew that what I had thought about and the time being where I was, it was just time to put in work. And, I lifted myself out of the dark times that I was at, because you are the only one that can do it. You can rely on your spirit guides and your angels and all that type of stuff for guidance, but when it comes down to it, it's you that's making the work, and the changes that it's going to happen are going to come from you. And there was often times when I would like pray and ask, like, help, like, I need some help. And the only answers I would get was like, help yourself, because it's true, And that's why we are spiritual warriors, is because we go to the depths of our darkest selves and demons to be able to come out of it a new, better, improved person. Because if you don't go and do the things that need to be happening in your core level, they're going to be sitting with you forever. And when you are awakening and stuff like that, you're just peeling layers off of yourself to work on and to improve. And who knows what layer I'm on, and who knows what layer you're on. You're just constantly going through it, and your life will get fucking better. That's what I want to say, is like, it will get better, but it takes whatever's in your journey is going to show you what you got to change in your life and what you have to become in order to live the life that you should be living. Otherwise, you're just going to be going around in circles. And that's part of like a cycle too, hitting circles and hitting life themes that happen in your life. You are going to experience things that you thought you got rid of, but you're just seeing a different level to it. And you can never digress in your spiritual progress, because you're constantly on the pendulum of going upwards. You can never go back down. I mean, you can revisit things that you thought you transcended, but you're just seeing another chapter of it. And so pretty much where I'm at now is I've embodied a new state of being. I've rose my vibration. And sure, there's tons of things that I still need to work on. But from me to you right now, whoever's watching, just know that you can make it through too, but take the action. You can't just meditate all the time and expect like life to get hella good for you. You have to meditate and do action and think and ponder and just figure things out yourself, because you can only rely on so much of this external information and external things until it's finally time for you to just do it. Just do it. Take the blind faith and just go do whatever it is that you want to do, and see where that takes you in life. So yeah, that was a little bit of my stream of consciousness. I really want to do more of these like stream of consciousness type of videos, because I don't know, it kind of helps me just relieve things out of my mind, and it also helps me like even understand my own spiritual awakening too, when I'm just talking about it like this, because it's a lot of times it's in my head, my own journey, and so when I get to express it verbally, it just helps me understand it, where I'm come from and how I got to this point. It just helps me a lot better. So more of these stream of consciousness videos to come. Thank you guys, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.